Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
Hello and welcome to the City Manager's Report. I'm your host, Andy Radig, joined today by your City Manager for the City of Oshkosh, Mr. Mark Rohloff. Mark, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
Absolutely. Today we'll be talking about some municipal news updates in the first half of the program. Then we'll take a short break and come back and talk about some agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, September 8th Common Council meeting that will be carried live here on GovTV. So Mark, we have a lot of different interesting topics to talk about today. I know that one is something that is being built actually as we're recording the show today. It's a training tower for the Oshkosh Fire Department. And how will this be used?
Well, this is for us to deal with multi-level fires. These don't exist everywhere, but this will give our fire department the capability of learning how to manage multiple story fires in just a variety of situations. It's all about training, and we chose this site right there at the corner of Sawyer and National because this will eventually be the home of our fire training center. But this is the first step in that process, and we're really excited. I mean, literally, this is getting built today, and there was just a flatbed truck 24 hours ago, and now look at it. They've really done a great job, and just gives you an idea of they want to put different scenarios together so firefighters are prepared for multi-level structure fires, and that's really what this is all about.
And how was this site chosen?
Well, it was chosen because this is the former National Guard Armory. And their armory primarily exists as a training center. So it really is a perfect facility for this type of use. So eventually it'll get develop into a full-blown fire training center. But it's a home for a lot of things right now. We've got a variety of departments that store things over there. So we have to find a home for them before we make it a permanent fire training center. But we're going to start with this in the parking lot. The parking lot has been largely underutilized, and so you'll see fire apparatus in here and training periodically. All the training is going to be done daytime, but we're excited about this. This is going to eventually save us a lot of money by not having to do training like this out of town. There is a fire training center in Neenah that's owned by the Technical College, but whenever we do that training, we have to pay somebody to overtime to go because we still have to cover all our stations here. This way, one of our stations can simply go over there, and if during the course of training there's a fire, they can jump on their apparatus and go to the fire, and we don't need extra crews to be doing that. So we really think over the long run this is going to save us a good amount of money.
Well, very good. Exciting project, and we'll be monitoring that as they continue to develop it, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I can't wait to show the time lapse when this is all done. It's really going to look cool. So we're excited about that, but you'll have to wait till the next show.
Right. I'm excited to see that too. So over at the Oshkosh Public Library, they have a new feature available. They have online appointment scheduling, and those appointments are for curbside pickup as well as for use of computers inside the library.
This is probably the second phase of how the library is rebounding from COVID-19. Originally, we were just allowing curbside pickup, but now, as you mentioned, through appointments, people will be able to go to the library to use the computers. And the reason we want to do it by appointment is so that after one person is done using it, we want to make sure we thoroughly disinfect it so the next person can use it. But there are people who rely on our public library to apply for jobs, look for jobs, do things like update their resume and things of that nature. So we want to be able to make that available, and that was a big priority for us. So that's the library's website has all these details, but the curbside pickup is very easy. If you book reserve a book, the librarian will come, open your car, and drop it right in, and you'll never have to touch. It's totally touchless. service that the library will provide for us.
It's very clever on their part how they were able to develop that service. The public library's website has full details on how you can go about using that service, their curbside pickup and other services that they offer. They also realize that oftentimes folks like to come and browse and look for the latest book that they'd like to pick up. And since that is not a possibility right now, they're also offering a Facebook Live feature on Wednesdays. And again, their website would have more details on this, but they feature their new books that they have on the shelves and what they have available for folks. And those videos are also archived on their site as well. So you can be looking for that and be able to take advantage of what the Oshkosh Public Library has to offer.
There's a lot of services that are still available, so don't be shy about checking it out. The library is going to figure out a way to help you through that, and even if it's virtual browsing with what they're doing right now. Yeah, you can't sit on the sit and pull something from the shelf and read it, but we'll get you close to that. Okay. And really appreciate the library staff doing their best to make the library accessible to the public during the pandemic.
Very good. Another topic that we have is that bike registration. Oftentimes people forget that it's a good idea to actually register their bike. If you're a resident of Oshkosh, you have the ability to register your bike, and there's a new feature available that there's no fee for the bike registration.
Part of that was because the purpose of bike registration isn't to raise money. In fact, the money that we raised through bike registration was so minimal, but fewer people were registering their bike for a $3 or $5 fee. But then when something happened to their bike, they misplaced it, it got stolen. A lot of times bikes, if they get stolen, they just get ditched and left somewhere. Right. And the police come upon it and they have no idea who to return it to.
Right.
So the registration just gives them an easy way to say, oh, this belongs to Mark Rohloff. And they can get in touch with me through the registration and say, we found your bike. We have a whole bunch of bikes in our storage area because people can't get reconnected with them. No different from licensing your dog or cat. We want to be able to reunite you. So we're making this free, and the response has been pretty good, but we want to get more people involved.
Right. So people can actually register their bike on the city's website. They can go under the How Do I tab, which you can see right there, and then there's Register a Bike. And it's just a simple form that folks can fill out. You can see it right there. Just fill in all the data fields and submit it, and then that you will be registered in the system. So we encourage folks to take advantage of that. And while there's still some time for good weather here to get your bike out, go ahead and get it registered so that you're all set to go. Okay, Mark, something else that's actually happened in the past in a different format. The Oshkosh Police Department has an annual awards ceremony. And this year, due to COVID-19 and social distancing and so forth, it was not possible to have that event. But very clever folks over at the PD were able to develop a virtual type of awards program this year. And that program is now available for viewing.
Yeah, this has not been really well publicized until after the fact. And so, I've been fortunate enough to attend these events in the past, and they are moving. To hear the stories of bravery and service, selfless public service, is really something. But it had to be done virtually this year. So thanks to all the same folks who produce City Manager's Report, the same people who did the program, and of course, Mike Wissink, our school resource officer, was Officer of the Year. And it's just a great way to recognize all the contributions that our police officers make to keep our communities safe. So it was a wonderful program. Thanks to Oshkosh Media for making this happen. But it is great that we can show this award ceremony virtually so the public can get a little glimpse of some of the truly heroic efforts that our police officers make every day to serve our community.
It probably has a little bit more exposure this year just because of that. And we also wanted to make mention that program is available on the Oshkosh Police Department's Facebook page. And you can also check the Oshkosh Media Gov TV schedule and that will be listed there on the GovTV schedule, various replay times throughout the week. So you can take a look for it there as well as on our YouTube channel. All right, another item is the 100th anniversary of ratification of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. And there was recently a program that was held in observance of that anniversary.
A great program held over at the public library to celebrate the women's right to vote. You know, our country's nearly 250 years in existence, but women have only been given the right to vote for only 100 of those nearly 250 years. So Mayor Lori Palmieri was there to honor the event along with the League of Women Voters. President Margie Davey delivered remarks that recognize the efforts that so many people spent years for women's suffrage and brought equality at the ballot box for women. So it was a wonderful event, and they renamed the lions in front of the library for the day, which is kind of cool. And it was really a tribute to all the many women who fought over the years for women's suffrage. And Oshkosh, if you take a look at the history, Oshkosh was a big part of the women's suffrage movement.
Yeah, Jesse Hooper.
Yeah, I mean, so we have a great history that you can go to the Oshkosh Public Museum or Library to learn about those things when we're open. But I encourage people to learn how Oshkosh was a crucial location for the movement towards women's suffrage, and it was great that Mayor Palmieri and the League of Women Voters were there to talk about that. So happy 100th anniversary for women's right to vote.
Absolutely. And again, that program as well will be available on the Oshkosh Media YouTube channel, as well as airing on GovTV, so you can check your schedules on oshkoshmedia.org and look for those programs. The Oshkosh Parks Department has received an award, and this is kind of a special thing, honoring all the efforts that they make with keeping their parks looking very nice. So the Community Beautification Award for Outstanding Curb Appeal went to the Menominee Park Zoo.
It was really cool. First of all, big shout out to the Oshkosh Southwest Rotary Club. This is their program. And they annually honor groups and organizations that do a great job of community beautification, and they talk about curb appeal. And take a look at this at Menominee Park. They have done an outstanding job of beautifying that front area. You know, when you see it from the parking lot, you don't necessarily see it until you get close. And right at the entrance, it's just gorgeous. You know, even if you're not into animals, come over to the Menominee Park Zoo and take a look at the beauty that our Parks Department has put together. And I think the Southwest Rotary said, hey, we want to recognize this. And there are many winners throughout the community. In fact, one of my neighbors, I get to look at all the work that she does to make her yard so beautiful. Rotary really goes out and looks for people that do a wonderful job. So thanks to everybody who is an award recipient. I'm particularly proud of the Parks Department, Ray Maurer and his staff, that the great work they did to make this happen. They do a lot, and then of course Southwest Rotary for recognizing these people that are working to make Oshkosh beautiful.
And there were several winners, but also many follow-up or
runners
up. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, but I'll tell you what, the runners up are pretty darn good looking too.
Exactly.
And yeah, and they all do it to help make our community more beautiful. So thanks to everybody who participated.
Absolutely. Another item that we have currently, Oshkosh Media is working on, we have a Polco survey available that has been up for a few weeks, and it's available for a couple more weeks now. Community Equity and Inclusion Survey, and we're encouraging folks to express their opinions in that survey. Purpose is to gather information from residents about identify strengths and challenges for equity and inclusion.
And I think there's a lot of, obviously a lot of attention being paid to this. The council has created a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, and I'm looking forward to seeing these results so that we can share them with the committee and get their reaction. And does this help them, guide them in what they want to do to help improve a more welcoming and diverse community. So it's only 20 questions, so don't look upon it as being some big chore. It just takes a couple minutes to do it. We've extended the survey till September 18th, so
That's right.
just if you haven't subscribed to Palco, maybe this is a great opportunity for you to do it. But register, and then, because we want your input on a variety of things. And so this is just the most current one, but we always are looking for input. Our annual citizen survey comes through this, so we're looking for your input, so give us a little.
So take a look at the city's website, and you can find that survey through the website. So, Mark, a couple other things, timely issues or items to mention for Labor Day. There will be no GO Transit service on Labor Day, just in observance of the holiday. And also a note that the sanitation services will be delayed by one day, but they will continue on the following week on the normal schedule. But Friday collections will be happening on Saturday.
Yeah, just normal holiday schedule, so we just like to remind everybody about it. So have a great, safe Labor Day weekend.
Absolutely. Okay, well, it's time to take a short break on City Manager's Report, and we'll be back right after this with a look at some agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, September 8th Common Council meeting. So stay with us. And welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm your host, Andy Radig, joined by City Manager Mark Rohloff. Mark, it looks like the Common Council meeting is starting off with a presentation from the Greater Oshkosh Economic Development Corporation, GO EDC. Yeah, they provide a mid-year report just to kind of give council an update on activities. The big thing in recent months, of course, is a common topic, is a response to COVID-19. The loan program, we had a lot of response to that. That's going to be a big part of it because that has helped them shift gears but still be responsive to businesses and their needs. So got a lot of great stories that I've heard from businesses that really appreciate that. And I think GO EDC is going to give the council a little more insight into some of the services that they're currently providing to keep serving our business community. Okay, very good. So we start off the meeting with that, and then there are some other agenda items, and one of which is regarding stormwater management. And I believe that this deals with some inflow issues, stormwater infiltration into the sanitary sewer system. A good program that I really advocated for when I first got here. It's called
inflow and infiltration prevention. And the big part of that is taking care of manholes that leak and have water infiltrate into our sanitary sewer system. When we have leaky manholes during rainstorms, what happens is you get clean water, clean stormwater, rainwater that gets into our sanitary sewer system. It blocks up the sewer mains with clean water that we don't need to have in there. And plus our treatment plant has spent resources to essentially clean water. And this is an example of how clean water can get into our sewer system. So this is a great program to reduce that. We're about 30% of our way through all of our manholes in the city. So, but that took us about 10 years to do. So we still got a long way to go. We're making great progress, and I'm very pleased with it.
Okay, and the next agenda item is somewhat related, I understand?
Well, it is. Again, it's all about stormwater, and we have situations where people have had flooding in their basements, and a lot of times they're just recycling the water that goes into the ground and then gets recycled. We have a program to offer storm sewer laterals for, I believe it's $750. That's about 10% of the total cost of doing this. This makes it very cost effective and encourages people to do that. What it also does is a lot of people have discharged their sump pump water onto their grass and sometimes even onto their sidewalk, especially during the winter. That creates a dangerous situation when it freezes up. If you get it into the storm sewer lateral, goes into our storm sewer system and goes away from your house. It doesn't get recycled and makes your sump pump work even harder, and it keeps the sidewalk safe. A lot of great advantages for this. If you are interested in this, you can't do it for this year yet, but call Public Works and let them know that you're interested in getting a storm sewer lateral and get the same benefit that your friends and neighbors have gotten.
All right, that sounds like a good idea. Next item is we're looking at a proposed change for a polling location for District 9.
District 9, for those of you who it doesn't ring a bell for you, those are for people who currently vote at Oshkosh West High School. And the school district, for a variety of reasons, mainly safety, have decided they don't want to have elections held at the schools themselves. So in District 9, we're going to be moving it from Oshkosh West over to the Mother Teresa Center over at Father Carr's Place to Be. It's right there on North Keller. It'll be a very convenient place for people in District 9 to be able to vote. That's for this November's election. Every 10 years we have to reset everything anyway, so don't get too used to it. It may not be there permanently, but for the November 3rd election, that's going to be the location for District 9.
Okay, and that's the Mother Teresa Center is the building where that is being moved to.
Yeah, and so we got some pictures of that, just in case you're not familiar with it. Right on Keller, you can see where it says Mother Teresa Center. Great parking, great access. You'll be able to get in and out very easily to vote on Election Day.
Okay, and then the city's website also has more details about other polling place changes that have happened in Oshkosh since the last presidential election anyways.
Right, if you haven't voted since 2016, you may not realize that if you previously voted at Webster Stanley, that's been moved over to Oshkosh Public Library, again, another school. And then Whitman Regional Airport, because of the construction that was going on there, the old terminal's gone, so we're temporarily over at the Hilton Garden Inn. So be aware of those two areas that have also been relocated. And of course, the clerk's office can help you if you need to know where to vote.
Okay. And recently, the Wisconsin Election Commission has sent out a voter mailing that will assist voters to understand how they can request an absentee ballot and some other information as well. Exactly.
We're still encouraging people to vote absentee because, or mail-in, as I should say, because if people have concerns about COVID spread and things like that, this will be an effective way for you to vote safely. So, and we'll make it as easy as possible. And Wisconsin Election Commission is sending out a little reminder to you. You should be receiving it within the week.
Okay, and just another reminder for folks too that there's a website, myvote.wi.gov, that has great resources for folks to know what their polling place is and how to register to vote and all kinds of information. We encourage you to check that one out and learn more on that website. So Mark, then we have another special event coming up. And I understand that there's some businesses that have been involved in this, and it's a truck or treat event.
This is with all the COVID-19 stuff, what we've meshed together is the old Touch a Truck event and the Zulaween Boo, and we're going to make it into a as touch-free as possible, and it's also putting in a little bit of celebration of lights. It's going to be over at Menominee Park. There'll be a nominal registration fee per vehicle, and all you'll do is drive through the park, drive through Menominee Park. You'll be able to see some of the trucks that we've shown at Touch a Truck, and then that'll alternate with local businesses that will be handing out little bags of treats or goodies, something from their business. Everybody will be, have appropriate face covering, hand covering, so it'll be able to be very safe and everything. But that's going to be on October 17th. So we want to encourage people to look for more details on that event, and we're excited that the Parks Department is offering something for the kids to enjoy this fall.
Mm-hmm. And Mark, that's truck or treat, but any thoughts on what might be happening for trick or treat this year?
Well, it's funny. I was just talking with a parent, and they're so busy with school stuff, they haven't given it much thought. But we've been giving it some thought, but quite honestly, we don't have an answer yet. So, just before the show, Andy and I discussed look for a Palco survey, because I would love to hear what you think about what we should do with trick-or-treating. Maybe we just do it the way we've always done it, and some people may participate and others won't, and that's certainly okay. But if you've got any great ideas, we'd like to hear from you. So I love the idea, and so be looking for that survey, and we'll get some information and share it with you, and then maybe see what council thinks, so we can try to celebrate Halloween. I know everybody wants to have fun, but want to do it safe, but we want your input. So look for a Palco survey once we're done with the diversity and inclusion survey.
Right, absolutely. Take a look for that. We'll get some information out about it, and we would love to hear your thoughts about trick or treat this year. Mark, another item is talking about the levy target for the city of Oshkosh. What is the target?
Well, the council's going to decide what target they want to shoot for. We had a workshop on August 19th. I encourage people to take a look at the tape of that on Oshkosh Media. But the council was asked, where would you like us to land with the levy for the 2021 budget? And we showed them making certain assumptions that it could be as high as 4.41%. We want to see what the council's comfort level is, get that feedback, and council can give us direction based on that. And then based on what they say, that's what we will work towards on presenting the budget to them in mid-October.
Okay, all right. And then we have another item too for purchase of some air and surface purification systems for GO Transit.
Daily, we have been spraying down our buses, and it's very labor intensive, and it's actually quite costly. Through some of the federal CARES money, we've identified a product that will regularly and continuously sanitize the air and surfaces on our buses. And so we're going to be installing these. I think they're about $3,000 a piece, but this is covered with some federal monies for transportation. So we're going to be ordering these things, and I think you can expect to see them on the buses probably by about mid-October. So another creative way for us to make sure that you can ride safely on our GO Transit system.
Mm-hmm. I know people that might not realize that we're putting attention all across city services for keeping folks safe and looking at everything that we could possibly do.
Yeah,
so
anything we can do, we're going to do that, and to the degree we can use some of these federal monies, we're going to do that as well. So it's all about keeping people safe.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, I think that's about what we have time for today with today's agenda. So thank you again for being here today.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Andy.
All right, very good. Well, again, the Oshkosh Common Council meeting is this Tuesday, September 8th at 6 p.m. And you can watch it live on GovTV, that's Spectrum Channel 10, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and streaming on the Oshkosh Media YouTube and YouTube channel and the OshkoshMedia.org website. You can also listen to it on the radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9, and the radio station is also online on the TuneIn Radio app for mobile devices. You can also use your favorite streaming device to watch, including Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. And you can always visit our YouTube channel for government meeting archives and the full library of Oshkosh Media programming. So thanks again for watching the City Manager's Report, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with another new program. Take care, everyone.